I'm calling meeting to order. This is Northumberland County Commissioners meeting, and there's a pledge of allegiance. We did not advertise for this meeting. It's an emergency meeting. We ratify in the next public meeting. Okay, pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have a seat. Mr. Bradley, can you, this is a joint meeting with the prison board. Can you open your meeting, please?
Yes, I'd like to call to order the special prison board meeting of Northumberland County Prison. I want to thank you all for attending. This is an unfortunate situation for all of us. However, I'll be honest with you, nobody comes together like Americans. From the state to our local law enforcement, our parole officers, our wonderful correctional officers and commander, warden, they all did an exemplary job yesterday. Human life is most precious to us, and I want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts, the firefighters, the EMTs, down to the bus company that came and assisted us in transporting the inmates. We couldn't have done it alone, and everyone ran to our help. The Secretary of Corrections, Mr. Wetzel, has gone above and beyond what we could have asked for through the help of Mrs. Culver, as well as Senator Gordner. We had a conference call with him this morning. It's just been a tremendous outpouring of support. The local police department, the state police officers, the list goes on and on and on, and I apologize if I've let anyone out of there. But once again, even the Pennsylvania Association of Prisons offered their support. Prime Care Medical is reaching out to all the prisons that they handle to find out what the cost would be to help house our inmates. There's just so many moving parts right now, so I apologize if anyone was left out, but thank you all from the bottom of my heart, especially correctional officers. We're working to make sure that you guys have some sort of positions retained so that you don't see an interruption in your paychecks.
Okay, also, I want to say a few words too. I want to thank you, everyone, all the code enforcement office, the staff. They did a hell of a job. Nobody got hurt. We cannot thank you much. Everybody participated in this matter. So I'm not going to go in and mention every name because I don't know everybody. So I want to thank you, everyone who participated at the prison, and such a nice job they did.
Again, I want to thank all the same folks that the other commissioners have mentioned. Yeah, everybody came together. I think the comment was made by one reporter I was talking to about, well, it just seems like chaos. I said, no, this isn't chaos. What you're seeing is people doing what they're trained to do. There's chaos in terms of the situation and the fire, but the people who were there and trained to do what they need to be doing were doing it and doing it well, and that's what resulted in getting everybody out of there unharmed. And that's all of the the county staff that was there, our local law enforcement, the firefighters. Also, I do want to say a special thanks, and I forgive me, I do not recall his name in all the everything that was going on, but the minister at the church across the street, the United Methodist Church. We didn't know where when I got to the scene, I think, Brian, you had said, the first thing we need to do, we needed a place to get these prisoners out to and not have them exposed to the cold. We looked around, the doors of the church were locked, and I called the number that was on the sign at the corner that had the church's number, and he just happened to be there. And as it turned out, he said he normally would not have been there at that hour, but he immediately, when I explained the situation, came out. Within minutes, we had a line of law enforcement, and they were taking inmates out of there, and they were going down into the social hall at the prison. So that was really a godsend, and it was he did not hesitate one minute when he was asked, and for them to open the church up that way and react as quickly as he did is really commendable, and it would have been a much harder process getting those inmates out and getting them out of the elements had we not been able to just take them right across the street the way we did. So I want to thank him.
Okay. Also, I want to thank you all the county. I received 7 different county phone calls this morning, and everybody cooperated with us, work with us. I want to thank you, everyone, how nice it is, everybody to work together. And I'm gonna make a pledge today, Mr. Shock. We got to work all together because it's a big job we have in front of us, and we got to work together and build this prison or get somebody to build the prison or regional, whatever we have to do. We must work every day, and we got to work together. We got to have a communication. No more fight, no more pickering. I'm begging all the commissioners.
Well,
I'm telling you.
yeah,
I mean, it's not time to
there's
fight.
always gonna be disagreements. They don't have to turn into fights, that's a two-way street. But what I would say is, I think that we need to, look at all of our options and not make
Yes.
any rash decisions in this regard. As Commissioner Cosby said, we've been in contact. I know I've been in contact as well with the commissioners of some of our neighboring counties who have offered some of their services and offered to have discussions with us to address both our immediate short-term needs and potentially talk with them about the long-term and regionalized approaches to corrections. Those discussions are going to have to happen more quickly than they did before, and I don't know if those, in terms of regionalization, if that's going to be a route that everybody wants to go or not. But certainly, we need to be having those discussions now with our neighbors. But yeah, I do want to thank. I had texts that were coming in and phone calls from our neighboring commissioners while we were still at the scene, offering help of any type, and that was greatly appreciated.
Okay. Right now,
Just to add, if I may, we're in the process of waiting to receive a phone number where the family members and loved ones of those that are incarcerated with our county can call to check up on their loved ones. So once we receive that number, we will definitely get that number out to everyone so that they can check up on their loved ones. So,
and also the state of this morning, told us they let every prison to make one phone call to their family today. So it's good. Now let's open the meeting. I'm gonna run the ball to meeting here because I'm the chairman for one of Brady's Day, so please forgive me. Anybody in the prison board you would like to say something to the press? Please speak up.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Just to add to what the three commissioners mentioned, and I'm not going to reiterate, all the units that came into place, but I just want to personally say thank you to everybody involved yesterday. Through the hours that I was down at the prison, I was happy to see that no one was seriously injured, both staff and inmates. But most importantly, I felt that everyone down there and the citizens of Sunbury and Northumberland County were never in harm's way. I thought everyone who came, into the situation yesterday did a tremendous job to keep everything safe. There was never any doubt that anyone was in harm's way, and I wanted to mention that. As well, we do have, before we get that phone number out, you can go on to check on inmates. The family members can go on the Department of Corrections website, and there is a tab set up already for Northumberland County to check on their loved ones.
Also, anybody else in the prison?
Well, one person I did forget to mention, and certainly we want to thank her, is our representative, Linda Culver, who also was instrumental in making sure that we found a place to put these prisoners and bust them out to. And initially there was some, I think, confusion as to whether or not there was going to be places available at SEI Cole Township and some of the state facilities. And one phone call to Linda, and I think the matter was resolved within about 20 minutes, and we knew exactly where they were going and the commitment that we had from the state at that point. So thank you, Linda. And that was really.
Also, Linda, you want to come to the podium and say a few words? She's the best. She's the best around.
Just reiterating, yesterday was a really difficult situation. Just the way the prison responded themselves, the prisoners handled themselves, our firefighters and our police officers and our fire police. Everyone just came together. The community came together and brought food, and high school students came down and were carrying donuts and coffee and anything they could do. The churches opened up for restrooms and everything. So I'm just so proud to be representing this area. I am so proud of the way everybody reacted. Our commissioners came together yesterday. It was, in a very difficult situation, a tremendous response. And it just shows how well this area can work together and how we can accomplish things. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you to you. I would like to address to the board, the prison board today. We have employees there, out there, without a paychecks. And I would like to address the board to what they want to do. I would recommend to give them at least a 2-week pay. The people that don't have no job right now. What's the feeling for the board? 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, whatever you guys recommend.
Well, in the interim, before we have the meeting with Secretary Wetzel, I do feel that we should keep them gainfully employed. I know that he is looking at other options, working with the union that the state correctional officers work through, as well as he's going to reach out to ASME, our union that handles our correctional officers, and see if there's some way that they could come together, because everyone knows how union contracts are. If union work is being done by a non-union or another union, sometimes there are problems there. But I would ask that the unions do meet, they come together, and they allow our correctional officers to take care of the wing that are housing the inmates at Cole Township. So to all those union leaders out there, please work together and work with us for the good of our residents.
And the warden, you would like to say a few words? That's the new warden we have. He did a great job yesterday.
This is my 9th working day on the job.
Put on the microphone.
Trial by fire.
Okay.
Yes. The people I'd like to recognize started when the first indication that there may be a fire, there was smoke. They responded above and beyond. I can recognize each and every one who remained calm, dealt with the inmates very professionally, firmly when it had to be, but reassuring to the inmates to get them to cooperate. The inmates, there was a good many that were relatively panicked, and the staff was reassuring to them. They acted professionally. The control room officer would not leave his post until myself and Commander Weary went down and told him to leave his post. He was running doors and gathering the keys with a self-contained breathing apparatus on. That's above and beyond. These young men and women, the seasoned veterans, they came together and they are responsible for that safe evacuation of that prison. I am so proud of each and every one of them that it's beyond words. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. I gotta thank you, one more person, or I'm gonna get killed here. I wanna thank you, the chief police in Sunbury, to take the bull by the horn, and I wanna thank you, all the police officers in Sunbury and across the county, across the state, and also I wanna thank you to the mayor to reach out to us to help us. So, okay. So now let's go back to the employee issue. So I would like to make a motion to compensate all of the employees for 2 weeks. Next paycheck will be in the county, and also the people that can go collect, they're collecting, and the people that cannot collect it, I like to compensate a total of 4 weeks. The people that cannot collect it. That's the motion is in the floor.
I'll second your motion.
Thank you very much.
And just to clarify too, were you saying the people that can collect, we're gonna pay
people
the
that collect,
difference in
we're
terms
gonna
of,
pay
to
2
make
weeks.
sure that they're made whole in terms of the,
Right,
yeah.
we're gonna pay next paycheck, next 2 weeks, we're gonna pay, and the people that cannot go collect, we're gonna compensate them 4 weeks. That's my motion on the floor.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Prison board,
Yeah,
This
this is a prison issue. Yeah, it's a prison issue. Yes, it's a prison issue.
so then,
Yeah.
so are there any comments or discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, we'll push that over now to the commissioners for a vote on, to actually pay the employees of the prison.
Okay, I make a motion to pay the employee of the prison. The people that can collect, they have a 2 week pay. The people that cannot collect, they have a 4-week pay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, everybody's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carry. Okay. Next, the prison board. You guys done? Okay, we go back to the commission's meeting. I wanted,
Can I have a motion to adjourn the
second.
prison board meeting?
Now we started with the commission's meeting. We have a big job to do, and we gotta work, everybody gotta work together, as I said before, and we're gonna reach out to everybody to help us, and we're gonna reach out to the governor's office too, as soon as he gets sweared in. And I don't know what else to say, Rick, you have anything to say?
No, I think we need to, at this point, we need to look at what all of our options are, whether that be going it alone, regionalizing, and in what format that is, and talk with our neighboring counties about that. And some of those discussions that have already, the seeds of those have already begun. But I think we do need to get together with them and,
Yeah. But
figure out which direction makes the best sense and is going to be most economical.
Okay, the issue is this, we cannot drag it on, okay? And I mean, they wanna come aboard, whoever wants to come aboard, we're gonna do regional prison, we must move right away. We
Yep,
will not,
and if they don't choose to do that, that's fine, but we need to have the
Yes.
conversation. We
yes,
need to have the
yes,
conversation.
yes, absolutely. So I'm appointing you to have a conversation with the county next to us for regional prison. So you bring to the table the next 15-day what the decision is.
Okay, well, I don't know that they're gonna come up with a I think that what they're probably
No, no,
gonna wanna do is sit down with us and
Well, then
talk about
get
what
it-
everybody's needs are and what
Okay,
they.
then get them the
So
soonest
we will
possible to have a
I'll
meeting.
set up a meeting.
It's not too weak, the soonest the better, because we gotta make, in the 30, excuse me, in the next 30 days, we were gonna make a decision what direction we go. We cannot play no game here, because it's gonna cost a lot of money. So we must act and do what's right. So in the next 30 days, we will make a decision, so we're gonna do regional prison, we're gonna at least a prison, and the way I discussed with you yesterday, and at least for them, they let a company come in and build, and we leased it from them, pay so much, we gotta see what's gonna cost us, what's in the longer run is gonna be the best. So all this discussion here will take place through the commissioner's office, and so we're gonna build, we build. So I instruct today to John Munzer to look location, a ground available, with the infrastructure already there, because we don't want to pay infrastructure. And we're gonna we're gonna bring everything to the table, and then we look at it. Fine? Anybody else here say, and now I'm gonna open to the press, to the people, to the public. Okay?
Which county would you regionalize with?
Well, we have some neighboring counties, there's Snyder, Union, that, we could regionalize with potentially on certain aspects of corrections. There's more than just prison, there's also, Union has a day reporting center, they've offered that up to us to be able to use. Columbia County and Montour County as well may have an interest in some sort of a regionalized approach. And my understanding is Lycoming County has been looking to potentially do some sort of a regionalized approach. So we just need to reach out to each of them, find out what their needs are. Are they in the area of an actual prison facility, or are they talking about other aspects of corrections? It doesn't, and find out whether or not they're interested in entering into something with us. That may or may not necessarily mean that we're building a prison ourselves. Maybe it's a regionalized effort to get a private contractor in who's going to build a facility with a long-term lease that all of us enter into. There's a lot of different possibilities, and those are all things we want to throw out on the table with our neighboring counties.
This is a very preliminary question, but if you were to build a new prison, do you know where you would do that and how much it would cost?
So we're gonna build up, this morning I had a conversation with a contractor in Rochester, New York. They build a prison all over the United States, just to get an idea, okay? And they indicated me it would be like 12 to 13,000 each cell, to give us an estimate. 12 to 13,000 each cell. Each prison, each cell. That's the cost with everything, with him, just get an idea.
That includes the ancillary offices, kitchen, galley, those type of things, cafeteria as well. So they just build it into a per cell number so that you can decide how many cells you'll require and then do the math more easily than add those other ancillary costs in.
And I thought it was the best. I met this company when they built a Walmart in Shamokin, and the name is Pike Company. They build a prison all over the United States. They build an IBM building. They build anything. They have like 600-700 employees. So I reached out to the foreman. Unfortunately, he was still there working for them. I said, "Can you help us?" And he gave me some direction.
And the press and the public has my word that everything will be 100% transparent. We will bring all the numbers and figures to you, allow the people to decide as well, and make sure that we are doing everything in the best interest of our taxpayers.
And also, I'm going to address it with both you guys. I didn't discuss this morning because I have too much on my mind. We will set up a committee, so we're going to build a prison. We will set up a committee to run the show. Okay? Yes, sir.
From what you're saying, I'm not hearing anybody talk about rebuilding. Is that completely off the table?
Let me address that to all the press. Okay, the prison, it's completely shot. It cannot be rebuilt. It's going to be turned down. It's completely destroyed.
What's going to happen to the property and the stones and the walls and everything else?
Well, it's too soon now to talk about. Okay.
In the past, there has been individuals and businesses that have stressed an interest in the river rock that makes up the walls in the prison itself. So there are some other benefits and offsetting cost factors that we'll be able to utilize to try to mitigate the cost.
Yes.
Would you consider building a prison large enough to house state and federal inmates? Kind of make money off the deal?
Yes, we will look at least 500-600 bed, but we might look at it to build like 300-350 bed, and we'll have enough land to extend. Okay, everything's going to be on the table. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me shut my phone. I apologize. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Approximately how long does it take to build a facility?
It could take a year and a half.
Most stick builds are anywhere from 18 to 24 months. There are some prefab units with concrete walls that they can build much quicker, even as little as 6 months, but that doesn't include all the other.
And the employees that were there, would just go back into it then?
Oh, yes. Yes, I fully intend to retain every one of you that put your lives on the line and did such a tremendous job for us.
And also, to go back to the employee, we'll reach out to the secretary this morning. The first thing I told him, I said, "Secretary, if you have any employee you need, please reach out to our employee at the prison." And he said they would talk to us in the next week, right, Rick? Yeah.
He's going to set up a meeting with us by the end of next week, face-to-face.
Next? Okay. You have one more chance, and that's it. You're ready to act.
I have a lot of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I think this is a question that's on everybody's minds because everybody's been talking about it. The prisoners that were taken out of the prison, I know everybody was taken out safely, and that the women are at SCI Muncie and the men at SCI Fort Township, but how long are they going to be staying there?
Couple of years.
But how long is that deal on? I mean, and is this a temporary solution, or is this?
They'll provide housing for, I think it was up to 28 days with no per diem cost. So that gives us time to decide what we're going to be doing going forward after that. And I think we need to look at what our options are. If we continue to have them there, or do we have them in other county facilities where the cost may be less? We're not sure. I think those are all things we need to be looking at.
What would those costs be once the deal is replaced? Do you know how much each of these?
We don't know yet. They're going to come out with the
those
cost. They're going to come
Yeah,
out with the
they're
cost.
compiling that data.
There's questions over?
Yeah. Will they accept new inmates, like new lists at SCI Fort Township?
Yeah, I think they're going to be providing in fact, I think they're even going to have some area available for our administrative staff initially is what.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. They currently have, they're bringing on 3 video conferences to keep the magisterial district judges up and running so that we're not holding inmates longer than we have to. We have 24 out of the 208 that are being processed to Camp Hill to be put into the state system. So they really haven't missed a beat. They've gone above and beyond. They've set us up with computers. We have a facility there that some of our staff is going to work on. I want to thank the commander for spearheading that. They're going to be working throughout the day to set everything up so that it will be seamless to our inmate population.
Also,
Just to be clear, the people who are sentenced on, when they're sentenced on Mondays, they're gonna go to the state facility.
no, the people that be sent, yes, yes, yes. Let me, let me go back and give you the phone number. The secretary called with the phone number for Muncie. The phone number is 570-546-3171, extension 280, 311, and 313. That's for Muncie State Prison.
It's for the female population
That's for the
only.
female population only.
Families of those inmates who want to know what the status is of the move. We've received many calls,
Okay.
and this is
Right.
where they can call.
That is for Muncie only, for the woman only. For Cole Township, number is 570-644-7890, extension 2406. That is for Cole Township for the men prison.
The employees you talked about earlier that are getting a 2-week extension in their pay, there seemed to be a difference in how many employees in each one. Could you say how many employees total and what the difference is there? And also, after the 2 weeks, would they collect unemployment? Is that
Yeah.
how that would work?
The first 2 week, the people that can collect unemployment, we will compensate the next paycheck. Okay, we cannot leave them in the street. Okay, they did a good job for us for many years. And the people that cannot collect, they will have a 4-week pay, started today.
And what's the difference in the numbers there? How many would get the 2 weeks? And how many-
Listen, we don't know that number. I mean, you guys shouldn't even ask that question. This is emergency stuff.
There are 30 full-time employees and 25, 26 part-time employees. I assume that most that have been there for a specific amount of month will at least be able to receive partial unemployment, but the majority of the full-time will be able to receive full unemployment compensation benefits.
Is there any inmates that can go on house arrest or anything like that, that you can probably eliminate some of that?
Once again, they're still trying to keep the system
Listen,
from being
listen.
bogged down, but we're going to look at everything.
This is too fresh to even discuss this matter,
I think
You
we're
know.
looking at all the options, and in fact, Union County has a day reporting center. We just had some preliminary conversations with people in probation about, and there'll need to be discussions with the judiciary as well about whether or not we can have sentences for people who are coming in where we can maybe send them in that direction and not put as much of a strain on these temporary facilities. But that's all very, very preliminary, and we need to have those discussions today and tomorrow.
Has an exact cause been determined yet of the fire?
Listen, the state also committed to us this morning, wait, Mr. Shaki said, they're gonna give us also 4 weeks on no cost to the taxpayer. Okay, hold on. I wanna make another announcement today, and I'm asking all the magistrate, and I'm asking all the cop in Northumberland County to not put the people in jail, they don't do nothing wrong, because they're mean or they're miserable, Put the people in jail where they deserve to be in jail. Don't put the nonsense in jail, because we don't have the room or the money to take this prison. So please, all the law enforcement officers, before you guys put somebody in jail, please help us. If it's necessary, put them in jail. If it's not, don't put them in jail.
You have a cause yet?
No, that has not been determined.
That's not been decided.
Okay, and who would be in charge of scheduling for the inmates and all until a decision's reached in 30 days?
We have the warden here to talk about it after this meeting. We're gonna sit down and talk about it. How are we gonna do this? And the warden can ask that question, can answer that question.
And transportation will still be provided by the sheriff's
Yes,
department to
yes,
SCI and?
yes. But anybody, whatever we decide at the prison to go, when they arrest someone, the police officer, they gotta deliver whatever they go. We don't know what direction we're going yet. We will make the announcement this afternoon. We'll do press release.
Yesterday, a lot of police presence, because of the inmates, all of them had to be moved. What were some of, what kind of crimes did these people do that they were on the streets and being transported?
I can answer that question. I'll let the warden answer that question.
We're housing inmates with a variety of crimes. What has been reported lately has been everything from drunk and disorderly on up to capital crimes. And we just
you say?
Do you mind if I ask another question?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Were there any issues, I mean, getting them transported, did it?
The officers came together and Chief Hare oversaw a lot of that for us. He worked with the sheriff's office closely, and we had Union Snyder on tour. We had state constables, we had state police, uh, Mount Carmel Township, Mount Carmel Borough. Just trying to name the police officers that were there, and received mutual aid to the Sunbury Police Department to assist. Phenomenal. Um, and just, they were there. We come out of the building, police officers were there. They knew their job, they knew what the contingency plans were. Mr. Clausy headed up getting the buses there. Me being new, it was, how long were we gonna take to have the bus move the inmates from the facility to the church? The last inmate was in the church, meeting hall downstairs, clergy hall. The first bus was already back again. That was a response that's unheard of in the industry.
I find down for a citizen. A citizen called me, said, it was a smoker, and I said, you sure? He said, yeah, so I called the boss.
And there was never any, I mean, if you were there at the scene, there was, two human walls of armed corrections. People from our sheriff's department, people from local law enforcement, state police, that basically formed a human chute, and everybody went right across the street in an orderly fashion. No one was gonna, there was never, the public was certainly never in danger of anybody getting out of that. No one was gonna get through there, so.
Wait, 1 second. Brian, you want to address the issue, what they asked before, maybe, what you told us, you want to address the issue to the press, what's going to happen from now on, because we talked about this morning, but you have to go on the microphone to speak. I know, he broke his foot yesterday too. The way the process is going to work
Yes.
so far.
First, I also like to thank everybody in the staff, and also the law enforcement, the fire department. Excuse me, in my throat. The issue that we had yesterday, it was unique because it was a security issue, because it was a prison system, and transporting inmates and the safety of the citizens, the safety of the staff, safety of the law enforcement, fire departments, everything went smooth. We've dealt with situations in the past, but a lot of us prepare ourselves for incidents like this. The county's COOP plan, the EMA, the 911 center, the local departments, I mean, they all were in response to exactly what we're supposed to do when an emergency happens. These are things we don't do every day, but the training I see that, and the commissioners, you have to be proud of your EMA, you have to be proud of your county and your workers that you have, because nobody was too busy not to show. And one thing that I did see with the law enforcement and fire departments, but especially with this law enforcement here, they always talk about a brotherhood. And when they called for help and they asked for some assistance, I mean, we had people from every county, and they were just showing up and just helping. So that's the first thing that I'd like to just thank everybody. The process that we have now is, in the near future here, we understand that the situation with the jail, we have a lost jail, but one thing we don't want to do is we have to continue on with the court systems, we have to continue on with the inmates in the care and custody and control. As far as the DOC, Department of Corrections, Muncie, and also Cole Township Prison, they're doing a heck of a job. I really have to thank the warden. It's a superintendent out of Cole Township. He did everything last night. He was there late. He implemented an incident command system within his jail system just to support us for the incident we had. Them guys were working late just like we were. And just keep in mind, the weather was cold. We had a lot of things that, with the ice and the conditions that were out there. what we're doing now is we're still continuing to work with the court systems. Commissioner mentioned about the video conferencing systems. If we can do the video conferencing, they get the court systems flowing, they get the inmates out, the ones that are have trial dates coming up, ones that have corrections committees coming up, ones that should be out normally when they are. We're not going to try to bog the system down. They gave us an office up at their incident command center up at the SCI Cole Township. We're going to be operating there as far as doing the video arraignments, doing the releases of the inmates. Muncie, again, is also doing that. We have some state sentence inmates, which are 24 state inmates at Camp Hill. Looks like they're going to be helping us out by getting them out into the system. We're releasing some of them out of Muncie, and we're going to continue on. Here we have at the admin building, we set up the phone lines. The IT department has a small public information center that's going on down here that we can answer some of the questions that we can. The press release for the DOC set up the website, as we know. The contact numbers are on the site. The family and members could contact them. They also have them centers set up also at Muncie and also at the Department of Corrections in Cole Township. We will be operating out of the admin building here and also out of Cole Township for now to get this short term going. In the future here, we're going to have to make plans for the future, but this is where we're at this stage.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Go ahead, miss.
What about the insurance for the employees that were working in the Northumberland County? Is there gonna be something available to continue on for them for a little until they find something?
Well, I'm hopeful, to be honest with you, that this will be a seamless transition, that the state and their union and our union will work together to allow, and to help mitigate the cost of it, to allow our correctional officers to work within their facility. That way, because right now they're scrambling for correctional officers at the state level, and they're pulling from surrounding state institutions. So we would like to take that burden off them, but of course it goes back to the union contracts and how they'll allow them to commingle together.
But because this is, it's an emergency, a disaster, I'm sure we will address the issue about the insurance to compensate it for a little bit. We're not going to compensate it for years or months, but we will take care of it. We will address the issue after this meeting. We have another staff meeting we're going to have. We're going to have a meeting all day. Okay, next. Who's next? Yes.
You talked about full-time employees, part-time employees getting unemployment, or getting compensation up to about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on employment. Which employees of the prison system are going to remain on as permanent employees?
We don't know that.
I mean, obviously the warden probably, but.
Listen, it will be a staff in place to be there because we still got to process the prison. Okay, so it will be a staff, but we can't tell you how many or what to the warden to report it to us what direction we go. That's up to the warden. Anybody else? Yes. Can you come to the podium, please? State your name.
My name is Megan Beck, and I'm here I'm president of Sunbury's Revitalization, Inc. And the question came up today in regard to the demolition of the building, and I just want to make the commissioners aware, in case they were not, that is a landmark, of course, we are all aware, but it's actually significant property in a federally recognized historic district, so I hope that you're able to consider other alternatives before demolition, if at all possible. So I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Can you describe the duties that the warden will have now that, there's no prison to operate out of?
What?
I think initially there's going to be a lot of work in the transition and dealing with these outside, and I think that then we need to sit down. But I think it's very early to look beyond that period of time, what they're going to be and what we have to do. But yeah,
I would guarantee the warden is not going nowhere. So we still got to bring the people here. We're going to process. When you Jones arrest somebody, he's right there. Look his eye. When he arrests somebody, the warden has to be in charge. when you put him in
Obvi-
jail, I'm
obviously
sorry.
his duties have changed, yes, but there's
chain
additional
command-
things that he wouldn't have had to deal with before that he's gonna have to deal with now, so I think that we'll be working those things out.
I meant Mr. Johnson when he put the people in jail. Be quiet. And also, the probation officer, be careful, don't put everybody in jail for a couple of bucks, you know what I mean? All right, next. Anybody else?
I want to thank,
Hold on, hold on.
I'd like to thank,
The county's insured for the fire loss. What about like belongings that the inmates may have? Will that be covered under any kind of insurance?
We have $1 million lost cause, and we have a $9 million in the building. So I'm sure that, well, listen, we in less than 24-hour stage, you guys ask a lot of questions, and we can't answer that question.
A lot of these things we're gonna be looking at and figuring out over the next couple
That's
of
fine. I
months.
know
The
the
policy-
inmates don't have many belongings to begin with when they go in there, but I'm sure some have.
The policy is 157 pages long, and we're working through the policy to see exactly what coverage. We know that the 9.3 million on the physical structure is in place, plus a $1 million rider for expenses incurred. But there may be other additions to that policy that will cover those ancillary costs.
Like last night, there was someone, I believe he called Commissioner Brady, and he said, who's gonna pay the water in Sunbury? I mean, what kind of question is that?
Yeah, how many gallons of water did we use?
Yeah, how many gallon of water we use? That's nonsense.
We don't know
It's
those.
nonsense, yeah.
It's not even 24 hours.
All right, anybody else, any question, because I'm gonna adjourn. Motion to adjourn,
Well,
please.
before that, I want to thank even our prothonotary, Justin Dunkelberger, put on a correctional uniform yesterday and transported a prisoner from our courthouse over to the church. So I want to thank you, Justin, for that.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn, please. Second.